Esaw, you began our discussion today about how difficult this time is. What is the one thing you would share with George Floyd's loved ones that they might need to know or might not expect about what they're about to experience as they're going through this time?
Not to give up, to keep up the good fight. Don't be deterred by what people say. Do what you feel in your heart is right, and keep on them. Keep on the DOJ and the DA and the prosecutors and the defense attorneys, and keep on them to see that what this officers did was wrong, and not only give you money, because that's what they did. They gave us money and hope that we would shut up and go away. And when they saw that even after they gave us the money, we're still fighting. And to this day, we still fighting because we still trying to get the Eric Garner Law passed. And we're trying to get 75,000 signatures. And I think my daughter has 51,000 right now to get. So don't give up. That's what I would say. Don't give up, and be ready for all the people that are there in the spotlight that say, oh, I got you. Oh, call me when you need something. Be prepared for all them people not to answer their phones, not to answer their door, not to come to your functions, not to donate. Just be prepared for everything that's about to come your way.
Wow. Can you talk a little bit about the Eric Garner Law?
Okay, the Eric Garner Law is a law that we're trying to get passed, that if any officer uses the chokehold and it results in the death, that they will automatically get 25 to life.
Wow.
Lose their job, lose their pensions, and they would automatically go to jail. Like, there would be no deterrent. I don't really know all the technical details and stuff because my daughter's really handling it. She's the one, my daughter Emerald, she's the one that has taken the spirit of my daughter Erica and ran with it. So just be prepared to see her all over the place now, in her sister's place, in her sister's spirit, fighting to get this law passed.
I see, Roee, that you had a little smile there when she said that. Did you want to comment?
Yeah, it's just, it's really remarkable how, well, first of all, I always smile when I hear Esaw speak, because it's really amazing to me how better she is than I am at these interviews and getting her thoughts across. And yeah, Emerald's she's just she's a trailblazer. It's really, I think he says 100% right. She's just kind of taken over the this leadership position that Erica had, as well as Erica's children, which is important to add.
So the other question I want to ask both of you guys to answer is, what is the biggest single change you would like to see in our society, or with policing specifically? But given the fact that all of this is happening again around the anniversary of Eric's murder, what is the single biggest change you'd like to see?
Accountability. Transparency. I don't think that it's fair that, they won't release the transcripts from the grand jury so we can see what the witnesses said and what they didn't say inside that little room that prevented Daniel Pantaleo for the crimes that he committed. Whatever they said in them rooms, they knew that it would be more on the side of criminal charges towards Daniel Pantaleo than if they would have not. Then what resulted as they not releasing the transcripts.
Wow.
Did I say that clearly?
Yeah. 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 Yes, you did. Roy, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if we didn't mention this before, but I'm not American. I've only been living in this country for the past 7 years. I'm originally from Israel and I grew up in Mexico. And I think that what I would like to see as someone who's now living in New York, now living in the United States, is the biggest change that we need is a recognition in the value of human life. I think that's something that's
Yes.
the biggest problem, I think, today in the United States. It's somehow the value of human life is this partisan political issue. When there's a school shooting, fine, so lives were lost, but people have got to have their guns. When people die, left and right from diabetes, then fine, people die, but we're not gonna private. We have our private healthcare system. We're not gonna do universal healthcare because that's just not gonna work. And then when people die, 100,000 people die from COVID. It's okay, fine. It's a price we're willing to pay because business has to go on and use as usual. We got to open up the economy, right? And when people die on the street because they were choked by a cop, then it's because we need to have law and order, right? And so I think that the biggest change that the United States needs is a recognition in the universal value of human life, and that it comes before anything else, before guns, before.
Yeah, I agree, Roee. I agree.
Wow. And so then, because this is such a painful time, and I'm going to tell you personally, I mean, this is not an interview where you guys should be caring about me, but my mental health is suffering here, watching all of this and going through this all over again as a Black man in America. This is really, really tough. Can both of you speak, and you first, Roy, because I would like to hear Esaw kind of wrap it up. But where do you guys kind of find that peace and that calm in the midst of all of what's going on with Eric to what's happening today? Where do you find that peace, given the fact that there's so much stuff happening in this country today?
I find my peace in my wife.
I find my peace in my grandchildren and watching them grow and making memories with them and sharing memories of their pop and my daughter and, doing family things, enjoying my first home, having a safe place for my grandkids to run around and play. And that's where I find my peace. I find my peace in my grandchildren.
Wow.
And my children.
So Esaw, a follow-up to that is that I have 2 children, and I am afraid when they leave my house because I don't know what's going to happen to them for just jogging down a street or being in the park watching a bird or being in a college dorm room library and being or just having a police stop you in a car. Do you, when you find your peace in your children and grandchildren, do you have some of these same feelings that kind of float around as well?
Yes. I don't even like, but you put your kids in a cab. My kids take a cab everywhere they go. I never had an iPhone. I got an iPhone just so I could FaceTime my sons whenever they leave the house. Thank God that they're not the type of children that like to run the street. They're okay with playing video games as long as they got something to eat and the Wi-Fi is on. They try to keep my worry to a minimum by staying home most of the time. And I don't know if you remember years ago the commercial that says, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yes.
I can sleep at night knowing that I call my children every day, even though they live in their own apartments and pay their own bills. I want to know that they're in the house when I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Wow.
even though they live in different boroughs. I live in Jersey now. My daughter lives in the Bronx. My other daughter lives in Lower Manhattan. My son lives in Brooklyn. My other son lives with me. And I make sure I speak to them every day to know what they're doing, if they're okay. And 10 o'clock, do you know where your children are? And I'd be so happy to say, yes, I know where my children are.
I have a one. Thank you so much for that. I have one more question I want to get in to you, Roy, but I have to have one more follow up with Esaw as it relates to when you just said that. You reminded me the part in this project where they asked you what was the last thing you said to your husband, and it was just so touching to hear you recount that, and you remembered everything about that conversation. Can you speak about that moment a bit, please?
He dropped me off, and I looked at him, and he said, babe, I'll see you later. And I said, okay. And he said, what are you cooking? And I said, pork chops with rice and beans, fat boy, because that's what I used to call him, fat boy, because he loved to eat. And he said, okay, I'm coming in early. And I said, yeah, okay. And he went to give me a kiss, and I looked at him, and he said, you don't want to give me a kiss? And I said, since when do you ask for a kiss? Like, we've been married 20-something years. You never asked me for a kiss. But that day, he asked me for a kiss, and it was strange to me. And he drove off, and I said, I love you. And he said, right back at you. And that was basically the last conversation we had. And that was 11 o'clock that morning.
Did he get the kiss?
Yes, of course he did.
That's what I want to know. He got the kiss. Thank you so much for.
Of course he did.
Thank you so much.
He got all the kisses.
I just really appreciate you. I want to tell you personally, I still have a question for you, Roy, before we get out, but I want to tell you personally, Ms. Garner, I am so sorry for your loss, because your loss was our loss.
Thank you.
And I'm tearing up a little bit here.
Me too.
And I'm also really sorry about your loss with Erica as well, because I also feel that that loss was our loss as well. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for just even having the courage to do this project. I think that it should really impact people in a way that you guys probably won't even know all the ways it'll impact someone. And so, yeah, I just want to say that to you personally. Roy, my last question.
Thank you for having me.
Say that again. I'm sorry, Esaw.
I say thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. My last question, Roy, to kind of end it up, where can people see this, and how do you think that people can help the cause? And both of you guys can answer that, but where people can see it and how can they help the cause?
Right. So first of all, if anyone just Googles American Child v. Eric Garner Story, the first thing they'll find is our website on our distributor's website, which is Passion River Films. You click that, and that's where you can buy tickets to watch the movie at home in virtual cinemas. And in terms of how we hope this film will impact, we just started the virtual distribution of the film. And so it's a little too soon to tell where it's going to go, and there are all kinds of options and partners that we're looking to secure. But I really, really do hope that we are able to, do something special for the 6th anniversary of Eric's death in July 17th, and that we're able to put some money into the Eric Garner Law that needs to be passed.
Great. And so if
people,
yeah, go ahead, Esaw.
You can support the Eric Garner Law and sign the petition at change.org. This stops today, 2014, at gmail.com, and you can sign the petition. You can also buy a T-shirt, which the proceeds are going to go towards helping my daughter to raise my grandchildren. And yeah, that's about it. So go donate, buy a T-shirt, sign the petition. Let's get this Eric Garner Law passed, and maybe these police will stop killing our black men and our black sons and our black nephews and cousins and Latinos and Asians, and everybody live in peace and harmony and love one another and stop all this hate, because this hate is tearing this country apart.
Thank you again, you guys. Please remain safe.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Okay.